sitting in the fire of our own charnel ground as part of the path of deepening. But I do seem to be attracted to these external charnel grounds, if you will, these places of tremendous suffering. And I think it's one reason is that when I'm there, it's real clear to me exactly, who I am and where my edges are and my level of compassion or lack thereof. For example, when I'm out on the streets on a street retreat and you're wandering around in the middle of a big urban city and very unresourced parts of the city, and you're without money and you're not sleeping well, and you're either begging for food or going to soup kitchens, and starts to become a pretty intense experience, and you're surrounded by people who are suffering and people who are very touching sometimes, and you can just feel your heart opening and closing really directly. Like there's no way to BS myself or kid myself about that. I know when my heart is starting to close and I'm defending myself, and I can feel when it's opening. So that's really direct in those places, and that helps me be really clear about who I am and my own level of development, not to get into some kind of self-delusion about how compassionate I am, because I can really see my lack of compassion in those places. But I think my ability to go there and stay and be helpful in those places really has to do with resilience. I think for any of us who are working in helping professions or working with challenging situations, or especially those of us who work with individuals and communities that have experienced a lot of trauma, really cultivating our own resilience is incredibly important. Fortunately, mindfulness training, basic mindfulness training, has been shown through modern neuroscience to impact the brain and nervous system in many ways that deepen the overall resilience of the brain, or the recovery time, our capacity to recover from challenging situations and challenging emotions or what have you. So it actually shortens that recovery time and increases the resilience. And then really working with self-care. How do we take care of ourselves at the level of body, mind, heart, and spirit, so that we're deepening our reservoirs resilience. The training that we do for correctional officers and police officers, we have structured around 4 areas of self-care that are about increasing and enhancing their physical fitness and resilience, their mental fitness and resilience, their emotional fitness and resilience, and their spiritual fitness and resilience. And these are things they can do off shift to deepen their reservoir of resilience, to heal from the environment they're working in, to add, to recharge the batteries, add more batteries to the battery pack, if you will. And then on shift, we teach them a set of shift readiness skills that are organized around Daniel Goleman's model of emotional intelligence. So we have self-awareness skills, self-regulation or self-management skills, social awareness skills, and then effective relationship and communication skills. And so all of these things, doing one's own work is what allows one to step into these more challenging environments and be of use there. Because when we get into very challenging environments where our own stuff is being triggered, to the extent that we're, coming up to the edges of our own unfinished business, and we don't have a capacity to work with that on the spot, we start to become not so helpful in that situation, right? We need somebody else to come support us at that point. So it's really important for us to do the work. I was very inspired by the work of Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who, in her work of training people doing end-of-life care and other types of care, she did a lot of rage work with them, a lot of grief work and a lot of rage work, because she felt when you're experiencing, the onset of compassion fatigue, empathy fatigue, or burnout, that what's really happening is you're running up against the edges of your own unfinished business. And so she wanted people to keep doing their own personal work so that they could increase their capacity to serve.